Tubers, family and friends. This is Edward. Welcome back to the channel. I'm kind of groggy right now because I took a little nap. I'm in the state of Minnesota in the United States of America. I'm at my youngest daughter's home, and her boyfriend and another friend just bought the house and this property here in Maple Grove, Minnesota. It's a suburb area of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota. And a lot of years of my life I grew up in this state of the United States, but further north in Deer River, Grand Rapids, Coleraine, Iron Range area of the northern part of this state. But I also spent a lot of time in my past in the southern part of the state, around what they call the cities area. And I used to live in Shakopee, Minnesota, and a couple other communities in the southern part of the suburbs of Minneapolis area. But I just kind of I'm having a great time here with my youngest daughter. We haven't really connected for the last about 6 years since I've restarted my third family in the Philippines, and I was now able, after being illegal alien in the Philippines for about 4.5 years due to COVID and other issues with my amputation of my foot, and with the birth of my youngest son. I was finally able, and the help of my dad, to get out of that situation with immigration in the Philippines. And now I'm a clean status with the United States and with the Philippines. Got all my new passports, all my new ACR card for the Philippines. All that stuff's been resolved now. So now I'm able to, and if you guys have been watching my latest videos, I've been trying to apply for my retirement benefits for Social Security, and getting my new Nevada state driver's license, which I just received about 3 days ago before the Labor Day weekend. This is actually Labor Day, September 1st, 2025. And so I was able to obtain all that stuff, and the only thing I have left to do is for some more visiting for another approximately 6 weeks with my daughter, my dad, my mom, and still in Nevada, and I'm flying back there tomorrow for about a week before I come actually back here again, because I have more DMV issues there that I need to resolve, and some more visiting and with my mother, and then I'll be coming back to Minnesota again. So that's kind of a status update for everyone that's interested in following my journey here in the U.S. I appreciate you guys following what's going on, and I just kind of want to show you the property. And my youngest daughter, Desiree's very proud of what she's doing here, and I intend the next couple years to kind of come back and help her and her boyfriend fix up their property, get it to where they need it to be, to remodel, because it's a fixer-upper type of place. But they're working so hard and to make all that be accomplished. And with this day and age of the prices being so extremely expensive, it's going to be great to be able to help them accomplish that. So I look forward to bringing my Filipino wife here to visit, if I can get her issues resolved with her green card. There's a discrepancy with that I need to resolve with immigration. And then, of course, I got my passport and consular report on birth abroad all taken care of, with Social Security number for my youngest son, Leo. So he's all good to go right now. I could fly him to the U.S. at any time because he's a U.S. citizen. And so I'm going to try to go here now around the property. They just had a storm here about a couple weeks ago, and this part of this big tree fell down, and they had to cut it up and and they got lots of firewood now, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, they got some beautiful big trees here. Just there's some pine trees here, some blue spruce looks like, really big size. They're going to be trim. We're going to be trimming all the branches off the bottom there, and we'll clean up all this debris and mess. And they're going to have a fire pit back here. You know, there's a lot of work to do. You know, they got an old swing set that was here from before, and this is actually my old truck that I gave Desiree before I went to the Philippines. I actually bought this truck brand new in 2001. It's a 2001 Ford F-150 V8 engine, and she's kept pretty darn good care of it. It's got some oil leaking issues now, and there's, you know, it's just a real old, it's what, 24-year-old truck. So it's really seen a lot of miles. There's 187,000 miles on it, but it's still going good. So we'll just keep plugging away until it completely dies. But yeah, I paid $33,000 for this truck 24 years ago, and that truck now is brand new, is over between $70,000 and $80,000. So that tells you how worthless that through inflation that the U.S. dollar is becoming. So here's the high spot of their land here is right on the corner, and you can see it's a big open lot here. They got lots and lots of property here to mow. They're going to need a riding lawnmower. Like I say, these two big spruce trees here are in the very front corner of the lot. I mean, I'm walking here and it's, I don't know, probably 300 feet across. It's probably 300 by 500. And here's the road that comes around through this neighborhood of Maple Grove. And actually they're on the border with a community called Osseo. So it's Osseo and Maple Grove they're right on the border of that with this subdivision in here. Look at it, it's a real nice, big, huge property here. And I mean, neighbor kids can play football or softball or whatever here. It's so big. So here's the house here, and this is one of the garages. They have two-stall garages on the property, and as you can see, here's another tree here that needs to probably be removed. That's, you know, next to the buildings and all that kind of stuff. Needs to be trimmed out and that whole tree removed. This tree here, I'm really not sure what kind of tree. It has the dark type of leaves on it, and that's all over the roof too, so all that tree's got to be either removed or trimmed back. All these, I think these are hibiscus flower bushes, and they're, as you can see, they're all overgrown, and they have a nice little brick around the lower part of the house in the front here, and that's all being hidden. And all we need to do here to probably completely remove all this stuff and start over as far as that goes, to give the house, you know, so the house can be properly evaluated and what kind of repairs we got to make on the exterior of the house, and then just go from there, make our priority list and roll right down the line. But you know, there's two decks they have this back deck that's coming in the entry door from this side, and they got two of these seating windows, one on this side and the other side. I'll show you on the other side of the house. But all this is just that regular wood decking, and it's real hard to take care of unless it's covered. And that's one option that we have, is to extend the roofs here off this side of the house to cover this decking area, and then we can refinish this whole deck. Or we can remove all the wood and go to Trex. It's the PVC weather resistant plastic type of decking material that that's real good and lasts forever. But all those decisions need to be evaluated and made later, as far as can we afford the cost, make a big huge budget and probably just prioritize stuff. So one thing I love about this property, these big huge trees, my gosh, they're oak and maple trees here. Just beautiful huge trees. That's like a close to a 3 foot across tree, maybe 2.5 feet, something like that. But yeah, then they have a big fireplace here. They have fireplace both on in the lower part of the house and in the main floor of the house. So it's a real nice brick system, and they look pretty good shape. It's just a matter of getting all this thick tree branches and stuff all cut back from these really, really large trees. And we'll try to accomplish that over the next, couple years. Maybe we're probably hoping between 3 to 5 years, working on it slowly here and there, getting all these projects done, because there is a lot of them. So we'll attack it starting next year, next spring. But Derek, Desiree's boyfriend, has already started some of the projects inside the house, and they've already had to dish out an additional over $50,000 to fix the sewer system and the HVAC system of this house. So here's the HVAC. They just got a new HVAC unit right here, air conditioning, and then inside the house, I'll show you, they have a new furnace, but they have like 3 or 4 of these big huge grills that were left here, that the previous owner left here for them. But as you can see, this whole back decking system was treated lumber, but it's very, very old. Actually, the main part of this house was built in 1957, so a very old house. You're talking close to 70 years old, this house. And then there was an addition put on in the 80s, so you got all kinds of different wiring inside. It's kind of a mess, but it's things that you have to just reevaluate and rewire, or make sure the circuits that you want going to the places you want for whatever load you want to draw. So yeah, we plan on putting, eventually at the end of all our other remodeling construction, they want to put in a hot tub here that's sunk into the deck, that's like flush with the floor of the deck here. And as you can see, it's in a lot of disarray. This whole steps here for the deck probably be ripped out. And we have up in here, there's water damage because there's no gutter system on this side of the house, which we're talking right now that we're probably going to be extending the roof over the whole deck back here, and even reconfiguring the deck in some of these areas. But this will all definitely be a covered deck back here, so we can even just refinish the deck, wood deck, and restain it and stuff, and so that'll last much, much longer than usual with the deck, or with a roof over the deck, right? And then this is a second 2-stall garage that they have back here. And as you can see, also we got just big huge branches and trees that have been growing like 50 feet high back of the garage here, and these all need to be trimmed, otherwise they're going to cause some major damage when they're falling down onto this building back here. So, and this here tree here is completely hollow. We got to remove that entire tree. And right now I think there's 6 people that live here in the house right now, and that's kind of the way they're able to meet the costs of all the utilities and the mortgage and everything else, is just by renting rooms to friends, coworkers, neighbors, whoever needs them. And that's a way a lot of people are getting by these days, because it's just way too expensive for one or two incomes even to support that kind of expensive mortgage and taxes and stuff that's going on in the United States right now. So it's almost like a commune of people working 2, 3 jobs to live, 6 to 8 people living in one household. It's the only way that it's viable enough to make things work and have a secure, nice place to live near where your job is. So that's what's going on in the U.S. right now. You can't do it with one or two incomes anymore. You used to be able to do it with one income back in the 1950s and 60s maybe, and then it became two incomes by the 70s, and then by the 2010s to 2020s, where we are now, it takes three or more incomes to be able to pay for a home and property. It's just the way it is with the inflation and the whole system slowly collapsing. And that's exactly what happens when your currency becomes more devalued and worthless over time. And that's what's going on. So I'm not going to show much inside. I'll show a little bit through the front door there when I'm done with the video, guys. But yeah, they have a circular driveway, and it's in pretty bad shape. It's just real old blacktop that didn't have a good base down before they poured the blacktop. So this, will all have to be fixed eventually. And they had to dig down and replace sewer pipe that had collapsed in this lower area before it got to the city sewer line that's on the big road over there. It's just one problem after another. The older a house gets, the more money and repairs there are, and most of you already know that live out there in the U.S. or anywhere else. If you have a home, you're always going to be doing projects and repairs. It's just the way it is. It's just like my old truck there now, 24 years old, right? It's always has some kind of repairs to keep it running, but it's the cheapest way to go when you don't have a payment, right? So this is the two-stall garage here that I showed you earlier, and has like a double door where the other one had two single doors in the back. And then see all these big, huge hibiscus bushes and stuff all need to be removed so we can evaluate the damage that's, rotten wood or whatever that needs to be done. Maybe the siding, we need to completely redo the siding, or maybe just repair the siding and then repaint. There is some gutter here in the front, but it looks, it's damaged and full of leaves and sticks that need to just be cleaned out. Actually, there's no real structural damage in the roof that I can see. The other side looks better. This one, actually, there is a little bit of a bow that goes down right here. So, that's another thing we got to do when we get into the attic. Some of these things were identified on an inspection walkthrough before the sale of the house, but they, got the price lower in order to bypass some of these problems with the house, right? So I'll just show you real quick in here. So this is some of the construction they're already doing in here. They got the Derek has the vis clean up, and they've been removing a lot of the sheetrock and stuff now, so they can redo some of the wiring. And I think they're going to open this whole area up anyways, as long as this is not a load-bearing a beam or load-bearing wall that runs in the center here. We'll have to reevaluate that as we go, but here's the window seat in this side of the house. Actually, this here deer head, that's the very first deer I ever shot when I was 13 years old. in northern Minnesota, near Deer River, Minnesota. And my dad had this mount made, and this was in Nevada, my Nevada mountain house for a while, and in some of my other houses, and I left it with Desiree. And all my other mounts I donated to a mountain lodge in Nevada, and the whole lodge burnt to the ground. So this is the only mount that I have left of all the about 6 or 8 mounts that I had. So you can see Derek has all his tools and stuff here, just kind of staged, and we're just trying to go through everything. And he's got so many projects now that he wants to complete, and a nice little rocking chair here. So lots of work to do, and here's one of the owners. What was your name again? I forgot. Maddie. Hi, Maddie. I'm just doing a quick video for family and friends.
Oh, okay.
So she's one of the owners of the house. She's a really nice gal. I'm so happy that she and Desi and Derek hooked up to buy this house so they can, have a little future forward. Des, are you in there?
I'm ready to leave.
Okay, and here's Desi, my daughter.
Hello.
Yeah, and this is
Good day.
this is the homeowner. One of the 3, yes, and she's very proud.
Yes.
So we had a good time today at the state fair. So we had a great time reconnecting and having a great family time together there, and talking and walking and doing lots of eating.
Yes.
we had like cheese curds and endless milk. You can buy a glass of milk for $3 and get as many refills as you want. That was pretty good.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes and sirloin tip, beef,
Cinnamon in the morning.
and the cinnamon rolls, and coffee and stuff. So
Great.
yeah, it was a good day. So anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. I think we're gonna go maybe out to eat pretty soon, and so I'm just kind of giving you guys an update. I appreciate all you guys watching the videos and commenting. Please comment, and if you have any questions about all my journey, how to accomplish some of the things I've accomplished, or any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. So y'all take care, and I love you, and God bless. Bye bye. I roll. Roof, 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 roof.